Welcome to FactsTime. To get more videos, please subscribe to our channel, and press bell icon to get latest notifications. Hi guys, today we are going to know about world's most dangerous mafia gangsters of all time. We are making this video to have some knowledge, and you will be alert by yourself. So, let's start the video. Number 10. Frank Costello, aka the Prime Minister, Lower East Side Gang Morello Gang, and the Sicilian Mafia families. Costello is one of the most notorious crime lords in the history of New York City, USA. An Italian, Costello initially ran the Lower East Side Gang Baltimore, famously working for the Morello Gang. He then moved on to work as a run manufacturer operator, as part of the Sicilian Mafia family. Number 9. Al Capone. Al Capone, $100 million a year, if the name doesn't ring a bell. Al Capone was nicknamed Scarface. The gangster of barrels rose to undiluted, financial stardom during the Prohibition era. Born to Italian parents in Brooklyn, New York, Capone built his empire in Chicago, Illinois. He and his organization, the Chicago Outfit, supplied bootlegged alcohol to almost every state in the United States, at a time when the transport and sale of alcohol was illegal in the country. Capone's business model solidified as his product market fit found takers all around. At his peak in the late 1920s, Capone raked in roughly $100 million every year, which is almost equal to $1 billion today. Capone's crime story began when he moved to Chicago, and became the bodyguard for Johnny Torrio, who was heading the illegal alcohol supply market at that time. After a near-death experience in a street war between rival gangs, Torrio retired and Capone took control of the business. Overambitious as he was, Capone used extremely violent methods for business expansion. He even managed to maintain a larger-than-life, philanthropist figure in the public with generous donations, and cigar-chomping public appearances at ball games. But the brutally violent death of 7 rival gang members became Capone's undoing. Immediately after that, almost every important person in the state wanted to see him in jail. He was booked for tax evasion by the federal authorities, and after subsequent trials in courts handed an 11-year sentence. Capone suffered a stroke in January 25, 1947 and died of cardiac arrest the same day. Here's some cool news. Tom Hardy is playing Al Capone in the upcoming movie Von Zell. Number 8. Arnold Rothstein. Rothstein, aka the Brain, Jewish mob boss, Rothstein was an American gangster and gambler and businessman, but most importantly he was a major organizer of fixing and corruption in with special athletes. His most famous stint was fixing of the 1991 World Series in the United States. He had smuggling operations spanned from the Great Lakes to the Hudson River. Number 7. Kuhn Saw. Kuhn Saw, $5 billion. No government can prevent death and destruction. When a band of 16-year-olds pick up arms and form a private militia, so before Afghanistan became the #1 opium producer in the world in the 21st century, the Golden Triangle in Southeast Asia, comprising of Laos, Thailand and Myanmar, used to be the global den of opium supply, with titles like the Opium King and the Lord of the Golden Triangle attached to his resume. Kuhn Saw was the most feared name in Burma for a long time. Born as Zhang Kai-fu to a Chinese father and Shan mother, Kuhn Saw built his own army of militants, and fought for the liberation of the Shan state in Thailand. But unlike other hot-headed rebels, Saw was smart enough not to throw everything away at war in the open field. While he first joined, and later claimed independence from the separatist outfit, Kuomintang, Saw also served in the nation's military, when it suited him in his 40s. Kuhn Saw invested heavily into opium supply and controlled around 45% of the new opium trade, for a good 2 decades during the same period. Saw had direct or indirect influence of over 70% of the opium production in the Golden Triangle, with an army of 20,000 men better equipped than the Burmese military, and the U.S. bounty of $2 million on his head. The Opium King commanded a staggering net worth of $5 billion. It is reported that the Thai military once commissioned a 39-member unit of elite guerrilla rangers to secretly assassinate Saw. The attack did not just fail Shaw's personal secret service wiped out the entire elite unit of rangers. Number 6. Jesse James. James' younger gang, often referred as a modern Robin Hood, James was a 19th-century gang leader. He was involved in murders, bank and train robberies, a Confederate guerrilla during the Civil War. He is said to be behind a majority of atrocities against Union soldiers. Number 5. Leona Helmsley. Leona Helmsley, $8 billion only. Little people pay taxes. It was this aphorism that identified and defined Leona Helmsley, aka the Queen of Mean. Maybe the same conviction also landed her a jail term of 11 years. But Helmsley used her influences to bottle the sentence down to 19 months nonetheless. It was estimated that in the late 1980s, Leona and her husband accumulated as much as $2 billion, largely through New York's real estate scene at their peak. The couple owned properties like the Flatiron Building and the Empire State Building. U.S. Attorney and New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani indicted the homeless and a couple of their close associates on tax evasion charges. In 1988 there is word that they were also charged with extortion. Giuliani asserted that the couple had used their real estate money and influence to buy luxuries like a $1 million marble dance floor and a silver dock worth $45,000 for their Connecticut home. Yes, you heard that bit right, a $1 million marble dance floor. When Leona met real estate entrepreneur Harry Helmsley, in 1968 she was working as a real estate broker. A couple of years later she was the vice president of Harry's firm Brown Harris Stevens. She was already a millionaire by that time. Harry divorced his wife of 33 years and got married to Leona in 1972. Leona Helmsley died on August 20, 2007 with a net worth of $8 billion. Number 4. Pablo Escobar. Don Pablo Escobar has become one of the most famous modern criminals in history, due to the popular representation of his life in the TV show, and Narcan. Escobar is reported to have been responsible for 80% of the cocaine smuggled into the U.S. found other Medellin cartel Escobarism all over the world in his quest to establish the power of the medicine cartel in Colombia. With a reported net worth of $30 billion he earned the 7th place in Forbes' Most Rigid People Live and Fasted Over the Pain of All of Colombia. $10 billion. Number 3. Griselda Blancos. Griselda Blancos, grandmother of Cocaine Blanco and George, had childhood through pickpocketing and constitutions, but soon moved on to become one of the pioneers of the soutine trade in Miami, Florida. After being indicted and jailed on several counts of drug conspiracy, to continued running her cocaine empire of inside prisons using several outside links. Number 2. Enoch Lewis. Enoch Lewis. Atlantic City and County. Lewis was the head of the most powerful gambling and prostitution organization in the Atlantic County. Although his power was centered in Atlantic City, he got elected as the sheriff of the Atlantic County's Republican Mexican Committee. His organization said have been running the force of the political spheres. Number 1. The most wanted and dangerous fellow, Dawood Ibrahim. Dawood Ibrahim, 6.7 billion. Ibrahim is the one name everybody hates in India. Gangster underworld don, arms smuggler and real estate scammer Dawood Ibrahim was the mastermind behind the 1993 Mumbai serial bombings, a coordinated first-of-its-kind series of 12 explosions in one day that left over 700 people injured and 257 dead. The world has never seen anything like this before, and the gangster has been on the run ever since. Dawood operated through his crime organization, named E Company, and sourced local resources and information from multiple smaller subsidiaries. After his initial rise in India, he quickly worked upon his real estate game in the Middle East, mostly from outside of India. While he was on the run, much of the $6.7 billion that he made was chiefly through his real estate ventures. As of now, Ibrahim has been declared an international terrorist by the United States, and there's a bounty of $25 million on his capture. And if you think you're up for the job, there's strong intel, evidence from multiple global agencies, that suggests the gangster lives in a heavily protected area in Karachi, Pakistan. These are the most wanted and gangsters in the world. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to our channel and press bell icon, like this video and share this video. Till then, have a great day.